played
There's that Lucian.
a couple of times. And again, 6 games in a row now. Lucian first pick. And I guess it's safe, you know? It doesn't reveal anything for your team.
It's safe, and he really has a little bit of everything in his kit. So he's an all-around extremely strong champion. Doesn't really have a weak point that you can exploit.
Doublelift has played a whole lot of Lucian coming into this tournament and really been the AD carry of the North American playoffs. Now, Curse have got 2 picks to play with. We'll just see what they decide to lock in.
Yeah.
Nocturne and Lulu, they're denying Nocturne from Dexter, who did play a phenomenal Nocturne games 1 and 2 yesterday.
Well, if you look at the bans, Curse banned out Vayne, and everybody knows that Doublelift has just been playing Lucian over and over and over. So really, they're kind of scared of split push from Doublelift, I think, with that Vayne ban last. Interesting here from Curse. They don't want to have to deal with that from CLG. They feel like that's CLG's strongest point, is their split pushing. The other things that CLG used very well, though, were the globals. They had a very effective TF and Nocturne as well. So Curse also taking away the Nocturne. They took away a lot of things here from CLG, I think.
A very smart first rotation on Curse's side. Voidboy's going to be on that comfort pick of Lulu, which he's played along with Yasuo as the side lane. We'll need to see if they continue to give that to Voidboy in the mid, because I believe Bunny Fufu also played a game of Lulu support in one of their series. So we'll have to see if Curse decide to swap that around. Dexter taking his time and grabs Elise.
So in the Bunny Fufu game where he played Lulu, there were a bunch of support bans. This time around, yes, the go-to ban of Thresh has been taken away from him, but there still is that Leona. And if we go with the history, he pretty much always defaults to Leona. It would give them that engage to back up Nocturne. Leona plus Nocturne is a very long-range engage, and it would be a strong move for Curse. They really like that playstyle, so we have to see. Hovering over Nami, though. Interesting picks.
I think they're just biding some time.
A little bit. Did the Urgot tip you off with that one?
I'm not believing this at all. We did see Dexter hover on Lee Sin for a while. He has only played Nocturne and Lee Sin. And this will be him now jumping onto the Elise. Gonna see if we can land some of those cocoons. And, you know, it's a champion that some junglers have shied away from, but is still effective in the right hand.
Yeah, so Elise was changed. She was not nerfed into the ground. And Meteos showed yesterday just how well you can still use the champion. He went a bit more tanky, more cooldown reduction, a little bit more utility, and actually maxing Cocoon second is now the way that many of the pros are doing that jungle Elise. Well, we will definitely keep track of that for Dexter, but I think that he will be going the same route. The thing is, Meteos jumped on it very quickly, but people who have jumped on it after him, like Nintendo yesterday and now Dexter, they have not put in the time to practice this. Dexter was also tweeting out about, oh, that's a really interesting Elise build. Is he maxing Cocoon second? So it makes me think that these junglers who are now jumping on that Elise and going the same route as Meteos have not put in as much time, and it might show in the play.
All right, we'll see how Dexter handles himself. We did see that Renekton and Caitlyn locked in for Curse, so a lot of early aggression champions already secured. The rest of Countology Gaming's composition includes Shyvana for the top lane. That is a Nian special if ever I saw one. 15, 16 regular games during the split, and of course Link onto that Ziggs. So a lot of everything on the side of CLG. They've got some poke, they've got some siege potential, and they got some pretty good disengage if they need it.
Yeah, Nian's very happy to be on a cover pick. He did not have a good time in the Trundle versus Renekton. We'll see how he can go in round 2, because as we said, Quas is also a very strong Renekton player, and he's very similar player to Dyrus in the top lane. Hopefully for CLG's sake, it does not turn out the same way. But again, you talked about that early aggression. That's one of the things that did change about Elise. And when I say these other junglers that are jumping on the Elise might not be as effective, is because it's a change in playstyle. You know, Dexter has amazing Elise mechanics. It's not like he does not play Elise. He played her so much when she was this early game powerhouse. It's the mentality that changes a little bit. And they lock in the Akali for Voidboy. So there you go, you're right, Bunny Fufu Lulu. And they will have the Voidboy Akali. Now I really love the way that Voidboy talks about Akali. He's definitely a huge proponent of the champion, but he admits that the early game is extremely weak. He refers to her as a tadpole. You have to farm up a little bit for the first 6 levels. And then once you get that 6th level, that's where you finally turn into a frog and you can start leaping around and you actually get some power.
It's a pretty deadly frog if ever I've seen one. We'll see how Curse handle the potential of the 4v1 tower swaps and And lane matchups, if Voyboy is looking for some easy lane farm, hell, they could throw Caution to the Wind and stick him in one of those side lanes for the CS. Time will tell, but an interesting lock-in. We've been calling Curse out all weekend, saying they're only running one sort of strategy, and now they pull out that Akali.
Yeah, one of the older strategies that they always used to use were those assassins. A lot of people saying, Exhaust is too powerful, we can't run assassins anymore. He's going with the Akali plus Nocturne, so they have two people that are going to go high damage and dive into the back line.
We'll see if they can find the targets that they want. As the teams are loading onto the Rift, let's check your predictions. According to LOLesports.com, 79% of you think that CLG will come out on top, and we will also be periodically checking your predictions over at Twitter.
All right, so the Nocturne Akali dive with Renekton as well. It's a teleport Renekton, by the way.
And don't forget to send us your picks, your tweets at LOL Esports. Use that hashtag CLG win or CRS win. Choose wisely or just choose often. Whatever your
Yes, you
preference
can vote as many times as you want. So if you keep spamming it, then you can just
True fans
move the bar that way.
True fans tweet multiple times. You heard it here first. So we are jumping into game in just a moment. This is the third place matchup between Counter Logic Gaming and Team Cursed. Looking to see who will grab the series lead. And I'm excited to see Voyboy and Akali. I'm excited to see how he handles himself in this matchup.
Well, it is a dive-heavy team here. They've got the three members on the front line. They're all looking to get in and backed up by a Lulu ultimate. If they get the jump and they're fighting away from a turret, could be extremely effective. We'll have to see how the early game goes. If Akali can actually start roaming post level 6 too, then she can start ripping CLG apart. And since the meta has trended towards early towers going down, they'll have more room to work with.
We'll have to see how Voyboy takes advantage. 3 summoner heals on the side of Team Curse versus the 2 on the side of Counter Logic Gaming. But as you predicted, Link running exhaust.
They only have 1 exhaust, so they can either exhaust Nocturne or Akali. Both of them, both of them will be running full damage. Renekton, he'll probably at least get a Tiamat.
Oh,
he hits it.
Caught by the dog binding. This is going to be first blood. That just looked too easy from Counter Logic Gaming. Dominate, unfortunate to not flag.
Yeah, so you get speed when you're on the trail, but it has a cast time there. The little cast time for casting Q cost Dominate that binding, I think. It was just the edge of the binding there. It's a very wide skill shot, the hitbox there. And laying down that Dust Trail actually might have cost him. Could have just started walking as soon as he seen the enemy.
Assist across the board. Dexter's the one that grabs the kill credit. Instantly picks himself up a ward and rejuvenation bead. So gonna have his jungle be somewhat more effective, and we'll see how he can impact his lanes. For the time being, it looks like we're gonna have straight head-to-head matchups, as both top laners appear to be moving to the top lane. Both duo laners will most likely be getting into lane in the not too distant future, but both of them actually helping out their respective junglers. Not something you see all that often anymore, so quite interesting to note.
It's a return to a very old meta here, where the support and ADs are actually helping with the first buff. Both junglers will end up on the top side, and we may see early topside ganks to try and get that lane snowballing. It has been an extremely volatile lane in this 4.5 patch because the bottom lanes are all running double heals now, so they're so hard to gank. A lot of junglers have pretty much given up on that lane for ganking when the summoners are available. So that puts actually more pressure on the top and mid lanes. And since, you know, Voyboy and Akali, as we said, Tadpole form right now, he's going to be playing very defensively, just trying to farm up and avoid as much damage as possible. He's taking a lot of damage right now.
Taking a lot of poke, missing a bunch of CS. I think Link's doing a pretty good job of harassing Voyboy at every opportunity he can. And we'll see how quickly Voyboy can become that leaping frog. Leaping frog with multiple blades and weapons to try and kill Link. For the time being, Dark Binding connects. Bunny Fufu takes a massive amount of poke. Double Lift and Aphromoo coming out supremely happy with that trade.
Yeah, Aphromoo has been pretty good with the bindings thus far. He's always had good aim with his skill shots, so no surprise there. The other thing we want to keep our eyes on are the junglers, of course. As you said, the early ward from Dexter. He likes to go counter jungle. In this matchup, it is a Feral Flare versus a non-Feral Flare. First meeting is not very exciting, but it should be a smite fight over the wolf. Dexter doesn't want to doesn't even want to let that one get close.
So just denying more resources from Dominate. Dexter with his first successful invade, and every single time we come back to this mid lane, Link is harassing Voyboy down. Voyboy now out of potions. He's still even on CS. We need to see how that lane matchup works out in favor. Double buffs on Dexter for the cocoon.
He's just trying to zone them here. Yeah, not going for any kills. As we said, the double heals, you usually won't get kills this early. He's just trying to zone them, make them lose a little CS because he was on the exit path from that bottom side jungle anyway. Just trying to make the most of his time on that side of the map. When you are at least going up against the Pharaoh Flare jungler, the best time to counter jungle them is early. You want to delay them, turning it into a Madrid. So the longer you can delay that, means that you're delaying the Pharaoh Flare even more, because that's really where a lot of the clear speed comes from. So the early counter jungling is the most potent here. And just stealing away that wolf, he also zoned Dominate from the white as well. So he pretty much zoned him out of that entire side of his jungle.
Smart positional play from Dexter. You do see Dominate has completed that Madrid's Razor, as you've touched on. Finally going to get back into his jungle. No big wolf, so again, further delay.
Plus, Dexter left his ward here, so he's seen Dominate go to this side of the jungle. Now, the reason I even became a jungler in the first place is because it's the role with the most mind games. And you get to have a little bit of information here. He saw Dominate for a second. From there, you extrapolate where Dominate will go from then. You can plan out the next minute of Dominate's time just by seeing him once. And now he even gets another piece of vision here as he walks by the ward again. So Dexter has full vision of Dominate. He gets to make all the choices. Pressuring the Sakali with 2 ranged champions versus 2 melee champions is going to put CLG up even further.
Aphromoo is landing Dark Binding after Dark Binding and really making Cop and Bunny Fufu's life difficult. As you touched on, Voyboy's been pressured away from that mid lane.
Yeah, what you want to do as Elise, since you have a huge advantage early in tower sieges against melee champions, all he has to do is pivot off of this mid lane. Anytime he sees Voyboy here, he can come help harass and damage the turret because he is ranged. And from this point, he can make his moves into Dominate's jungle because he's causing so much pressure.
Oh, that was a good flash there from Dominate. Gets out of range of the last couple of abilities, but flash blown. Dominate just trying to farm, just trying to get the pressure off the tower, ends up losing his summon spell.
Since he's pressuring the mid lane so much, it's very easy for Dexter to move from that point into Dominate's jungle, and you continue to keep that Pharaoh Flare jungler down. Even though he's got Madred's completed now and he has good clear speed, Dexter has the mid laner to back him up, so he can continue to make these aggressive moves.
Dexter instantly coming through the blue side jungle of Curse once again. Good vision from Curse at least allows them to back away quickly enough. Voyboy now has access to his ultimate, so he's got those dashes available. Made ginger movement towards the river, looking like maybe, if anything happened in the bottom lane, he was going to respond. But CLG decide to not dive, decide not to play overly risky. CLG just clawing small advantages.
Dominate gets level 6 first here.
You see how he makes use of it. Does have that paranoia. It needs to be comboed along with most likely that mid or that top lane. Voyboy, clear out this pig ward. Jungle of CLG. The sound effects for that Twilight Shroud. So as you touched on, hitting level 6, even with the counter jungling from Dexter, Dominate not doing too shabby right now.
Yeah, so you have to remember the solo lane experience that he got because Voyboy was harassed out too, also helping him get those levels. And it looks like Dexter has backed off from the cursed jungle, so now Dominate has a pretty easy time clearing with his Madreds. And he just really wants to scale up. This is the way that Curse want to play it right now. As long as their mid laner can just farm and not be punished too heavily, 10 CS is pretty much to be expected in the matchup versus Ziggs, if not even worse. It's fine for them.
Well, that's the end. Going Dragon's Descent all the way forward, clears up the minion wave, walks away. Yes, it doesn't cost you anything on your Dragon's Descent. It'll be up and available soon enough. Make sure he gets the wave pushed out quickly. And this is the first time we've seen Ian backing. Sitting on that Dawn shield. He's got 60 CS to his name. Was only marginally ahead on this Renekton, but we haven't really seen too many aggressive moves. It appears to be somewhat of a farm lane for now.
Yeah, that's pretty much an average CS lead there too, versus Shyvana. Down a little bit early. Being pressured pretty well. They also have had this pink ward in the river the entire time for CLG. That was down pre-minion spawn at level 1.
So good vision control now for CLG. Dexter sitting on Elise. He started off
Seen by a ward.
Solo dragon. Curse hasn't appeared to respond
So
yet.
Dominate has his ulti, but he's also at 66% life right now.
See how this plays out. That's a teleport from Quaz. Remember, Nien used his to get in lane. There's the paranoia. Dominates come in. Link, he gets stunned, but he's stunned over the wall. Exhaust is now blown. Voivode goes in. Another kill secured. This is evening it up on the side of Curse. Dexter is forced away. And Curse, with a very aggressive play, grabbed the dragon and a kill.
Can I say that Nien just teleported back top? After that return to base, Nien's teleport down because he returned up to top lane. It was a perfect time for Curse to counter a dragon. I mean, CLG make this call to start a solo dragon with Dexter at the same time as Nien is using his teleport. That is miscommunication. That is not coordinating the resources that you have available to you. And they get countered perfectly. Curse have a ward down there. They get the kill and the dragon. Nien is at least able to answer the turret, though.
So that tower has been removed. The kill secured for Voivode on Akali. Quaz, it's fine. Nien gets some good damage down. It does have that Dragon Descent if he needs it. Going to be happy to farm away and back out of that lane. Quaz grabbed himself the Tiamat, so going to be playing more aggressively, I expect, in the coming minutes, and we'll see if he can bully in at all on that mid lane. Voivode, thanks to securing the kill, also has the blue buff. That's going to be helping him out. Get some cooldown reduction. Maybe dashing across the map. He jumped onto Link. Dexter is waiting in the wings. Instant shadow dance backwards. And that is just great.
People just like seeing leapfrog. That's why the cheers are coming out. Voivode timing his aggression very well. When you have minion waves back towards your turret, then you always have an escape route with the Akali. Post level 6, as we talked about, Akali does get the kill potential. Dominate though. Dominate thinks that he's got the jump, but he does not. Cop as well.
Cop looks like he's going to go down. One or two more auto attacks. The double autos. Aframu flashes forward, grabs the kill.
The Flash Morgana autos. Too strong.
OP, don't forget Frostfang. I mean, Frostfang's like, what, 10 damage per attack, bro? That's going to help out. Ends up working in his favor. So Curse, to give up 2 kills, they've also lost the bottom tower in the last couple of minutes. So well played around the dragon, but CLG showing that, hey, we can lose that objective, we'll make it count elsewhere.
Yeah, so Cop rotating back here. It was a good ward there that was deep from CLG. And Aframu was lying in wait. There's the Frost, the double autos from the Flash. I don't know if he actually had a charge from the Frostfang, but
I'm saying he did.
Congratulations to him then.
Either way.
It was pretty funny because Dominate had just tried to pull a very similar move, and he had a ward down there. Oh wow, Nien's gonna have to jump over the wall.
Does manage to get over the wall. Voivode opts onto chase.
Dominate had the exact same plan that Afro did. The only problem was that Dexter was lying in wait to back up Dominate's target. So it really turned around on them. It was pretty much the exact same plays, but CLG had the extra backup.
Well, we'll see how Curse respond. They've lost 2 towers. Double Lift is trying to run down Voivode. Satchel Charge knocks him back. The pink ward is down. Dark Binding does not connect. And Link is throwing out those bouncing bombs. Voivode able to get away. Summoner heal was used though.
Now they're under pressure though. Akali, yes, she's an assassin that if she gets rolling and roaming around with all these turrets down, can have a big impact on the game. She has 0 wave clear. Zig's specialty is shoving down turrets and defending sieges. So they get that mid turret. It's going to open up a lot of the jungle for them. I don't see Dominate being able to farm up very easily from this point on. A lot of wards already from CLG encroaching in Curse's territory.
Well, Dominate at 13 minutes currently has 23 stacks towards that Feral
That's
Flame.
extremely good.
That is very good timing considering in the early game, you kind of felt Dexter was getting in his face a little bit in that jungle.
Yeah, it's extremely good considering the counter jungling. I mean, right now is about the time that Feral Flare changes do come in. But he's definitely on track.
Keep an eye on Dominate's build path. Most of the Nocturnes this weekend have trended towards the Blade of the Ruined King as their second item, but we have seen Brutalizer thrown in by the odd one yesterday, if memory serves correctly. Regardless, Council Logic Gaming, 3 towers down, 2,500 gold advantage. Dragon respawning in about 2 minutes, and with Curse not having any of their outer turrets, we'll see how they respond. The previous Dragon was I don't want to say gifted, but the previous target was taken by Curse. After a brave call by Council Logic Gaming backfired, they responded well.
Yeah, this time around though, Nien does still have his teleport, and it will be ready to join the fight. He is also early Sunfire, so he is that mid-game tank that provides a lot of value to the team. Quas has gone with the Tiamat into the Hydra build here, so he is a lot more damage, less tank for the team at the Dragon fight. Right now, it's damage-heavy dives from Curse.
Well,
Nocturne plus Renekton plus Akali.
We'll see if Curse can find their targets. See if they make it work. Quas trading with that Nien. Down a level. Only lost too long though, the mini wave's pushing up.
Yeah, it's very hard for the early game dives with those three to work out against the Ziggs. Ziggs has so much zone control. He can cover a lot of the battlefield in damage, just blanket it with the bombs around Dragon Pit is it's a very good territory for CLG to fight in, because all those melee champions that are looking to dive will be clumping up for the Ziggs damage.
Let's see how Link handles the positioning. Got that sweeping lanes. Going to be removing ward there from Curse's side. Risk of another potential dive, but Curse with a fair amount of vision. If you look on the mini-map, you can actually see CLG have got a string of wards across the entrances and exits to the river side of Curse's jungle. 5 seconds until Dragon spawns, and Curse seem to be responding well. They're grouping up. The two players with teleport are still remaining top.
Dominate has been able to convert his flare though, so 15 minutes in, not too shabby.
Hesitation is
Pink wards placed down for Curse. They're looking for vision superiority. Council Logic Gaming moving up from the river. Nien has actually run down. He's now in the middle lane.
It's actually a really big bonus for you to start the fight with your tank rather than having to have Quas teleport in. Those few seconds can mean everything in the fight. If Nien's already down here, then CLG would have an advantage if the fight broke out immediately, but they are not starting up this dragon, instead trying to pull Curse towards the mid lane here by shoving it and then drawing down bottom, because they have to do something. Quas is up there, he's going to get turret damage. If CLG don't do something down here, then they're going to lose out.
There's some pings there on Dragon. Teleports coming in from Quas. That does appear to be late. All of Curse are now in here, but joined the party too late. The culling goes down. Quas has no additional armor HP yet. He is going to slice and dice away from the damage. Nien jumps forward. Voyboy looking for some damage onto that half-dragon. They land a binding onto Voyboy. Paranoia goes up. Vision has been denied. Dominic tries to jump onto double lift. That is a very good wild growth, knocking up multiple members of CLG. Quas is in the backpack. Voyboy's got one. Quas got the second before double lift replies. Now that damage dealer of Quas and Renekton grabbed the double kill. He's looking for the triple. Cop, 90 calibers over the tree line. Piltover doesn't connect. Let's see if Quas can get in range. 2 seconds for slice and dice. He's got no minions to get through. That's a flash from Cop. And the tower should finish it off. One more hit. Kill credit to Cop. 4 for 1. But I didn't see who got the dragon. I believe it was Curse.
So, yeah, CLG got the dragon before it even started, so it was that late teleport. But the fight goes completely Curse's way. Even with Quas getting chunked out before it started, CLG felt comfortable with this only because they got so much poke down. 2 bindings on Quas and on Voyboy before it starts. But then we see the staggered dive. Dominate goes in on the double lift, forcing his dash, and then flashes over the wall. Aphromu's ulti is also down at this point. So the second